Hi, welcome to Books and Bocadillos. My name is Maria Andrea. I have different kind of video today. So, hear me out. Dia de los Muertos is November 2nd, and that is just around the corner. Last weekend, I put up my Dia de los Muertos altar, my altar, in memory of my loved ones who've passed. And I love doing that year after year. It's always a time in which I pull out boxes of photographs and think of those that are no longer with me, and I hang them up and decorate a space in my dining room, because let's be honest, that's where we congregate. The dining room, that's like the family room. It's the dining room. It's where you share meals. It's where you're together. And so they're in my dining room, and I I create a space for them to be and for me to be with them. So I need to go pick up more candles. I burned I burned through one candle. But yeah, I'm thinking about Dia de los Muertos. I'm thinking about the meals that I want to prepare. So for me, Dia de los Muertos is a time in which I remember my loved ones that have passed. And I do that by, there people talk about offerings, and yes, I put offerings on the altar. I'll steep my grandfather's favorite tea, and I'll put a small tea there. I put my paternal grandfather's favorite candy out on the altar. My beloved neighbor who passed a year ago used to always bring me honey, and I'm vegan, so I don't eat honey. But he would always bring me honey, and that was a way of saying, you're special to me. I care about you, and so I put out one of the last bottles of honey he gave me, and yeah. So there's that, but then there's also the bringing in food in my day to day that reminds me of those that I loved and that I still love and think about. So I have a bit of a cookbook haul slash peruse some of my cookbooks with me, some of my favorite Mexican, Latin American cookbooks, and let's see what stands out, what reminds me of my loved ones. And I haven't done this previously. I'm going to be looking at them fresh and hopefully sharing what stands out. And I have these little post-it flags, so I'll be flagging the recipes that I think I want to make um, in the coming week and a half and or 2 weeks. Yeah, the next 2 weeks. So let's get started. I am drinking some sparkling water, and I just want to rave about this chocolate. I found this chocolate at my local Sprouts store, and I love it. So I have it here as a little snack in case I need something sweet. So, which one do I want to start with first? Oh my gosh, so many cookbooks. Okay, let's start with this one. I'll start with the two new ones that I have acquired, and then I'll go through the one. So I have 5 cookbooks here with me. I have 2 that are new to me cookbooks that I hauled just this one I bought in September at the start of Hispanic Heritage Month, and this one I just got in the mail today. And so let's start with the Siete table. So Siete is a brand that I really, really love. They're not a vegan brand. They do have some vegan items, but they do a lot of gluten-free foods. So they're great because they provide foods and snacks that I can eat. And so not everything in here is going to be vegan, but whatever isn't, I'm pretty sure I can try to work with and veganize. So let's see what stands out. So the Siete table is by the Garza family, and they're based out of Laredo, Texas, and that's not too far from where I'm at. There, this is the cover, and this cookbook is dedicated, it says, to our grandma Alicia, who remains an inspiration for everything we create, from a loving family to homemade tortillas, yet the family foods, and now this cookbook. I love a celebration of grandparents. So let's see. It's so cool. The Siete family, they each have a little thing at the introduction talking about gathering in community and what this cookbook means to them, or why, their story. Just says, this is their story. As a third generation Mexican American family from South Texas, we grew up celebrating moments big and small by enjoying delicious meals. So it's safe to say that some of our favorite moments, and most moments in general, involve food. Our family of 7 ate breakfast and dinner together just about every day. We have fond memories of assembling quesadillas on school nights just before Friends came on TV, going out to our favorite restaurants in Laredo to order pirata tacos and chips and salsa, and inviting the neighborhood over for summertime carne asadas in the backyard. And then it kind of goes through, and then now 8 years after the start of Siete, we believe in the power of food more than ever. What started with our immediate family has grown into a vibrant, extended familia of people who share our values of high-quality ingredients and meals made with love. So let's get on with the recipes. They have a nice, they have pictures about the ingredients. So what cashews look like, coconut sugar, hibiscus, almond flour, piloncillo, which is like molasses, Mexican oregano, cassava flour, cinnamon, and tamarind. Those are all like staple ingredients. And then they have the chiles. This is really important to know, is what kind of chile you need for the recipe. So they have jalapeno, habanero, let me see, jalapeno, habanero, chile de árbol. This is chile poblano. This is serrano, guajillo, pasilla, and ancho. Okay, so the first recipe for breakfast is migas. Migas are corn tortillas with, the non-vegan version is eggs. I make the vegan version with tofu. So do I want to make tofu migas? Migas is like a staple. Everybody eats migas. It does remind me of my family. I don't think that it was any of my relatives that I have on the altar that have passed. I don't think it's any of their favorite thing. I think we all just ate it because it's what you eat. My husband's favorite food is migas, so maybe I'll make it, but probably not for Dia de los Muertos. Let's see what else. Conchas. This would be really amazing if I could make. Conchas. This is what conchas are. It's a sweet bread. The trick for me is the gluten-free. But this recipe, I feel like I can trust because it's using gluten-free ingredients. So I don't have to make it gluten-free, which makes the work easier. The only thing I have to do here is veganize. And actually, no, because it's asked for dairy-free milk. So dairy-free milk, active dry yeast, rice flour, potato starch, coconut flour, coconut sugar, psyllium husk powder, sea salt, coconut oil, powdered sugar, coconut shortening, white rice flour, ground cinnamon, sea salt, vanilla, and cocoa. It's a vegan recipe. This is the winner. So this is one that I could make, and this is something that does remind me of my dad who's passed, my abuelos. Um, Gosh, yes, like conchas. I'm gonna try this recipe. I'm really excited. This is perfect for like a merienda, or a merienda is like that 4 o'clock time, like a late afternoon tea between your lunch and your dinner. And usually we eat um, pastries and tea or coffee or milk or whatever usually hot drink you enjoy. So yeah, I'm excited. That's a great one. Let's see. Barbacoa. Barbacoa. To veganize barbacoa, I would have to use jackfruit. Mm, or mushrooms. I don't know. Let's keep going. Barbacoa would be good. Chilaquiles, huevos rancheros, huevos a la mexicana, chicharrones en salsa, crispy papas. We do love potatoes, papas. My dad used to love papas, but the memory that like the recipes that remind me of my dad are like the pancakes, because that was the first thing he ever taught me how to make was pancakes. And then as like an older kid, like when I was a younger kid, he taught me how to make pancakes. And then when I was an older kid, like late elementary aged, he taught me how to make croquettes. Um, so I would like to make croquettes maybe, or pancakes, or both. The crispy papas sound like a good option though, because that is something that is very like we all love, and this sounds like it is like potatoes, salt, avocado oil, black pepper, scallions, serranos, cilantro, cashew cream, lime, and red onions. Sounds pretty. Ooh, grain-free pancakes. My go-to pancake recipe is um, not almond flour, but almond butter pancakes. But I disclosed in another video that I recently posted that my secret go-to nut butter is actually a seed butter. It's tahini. I love tahini. So for my almond butter recipe, I switch out the almond butter for tahini. I prefer that. But this one might be a good one to try. It's gluten free, it's dairy free, and it's vegan. And pancakes remind me so much of my dad. So I think in honor of my dad, we might make some of these grain free pancakes from Siete. They're so good. So these have cajeta, which is like a caramel sauce on top, and like toasted plantains. Um, we do love cajeta around here. I love cajeta, but my dad used to love to eat pancakes with jam. So maybe I'll look for a jam recipe or find a really nice jam. Tortilla soup, flautas de papa. Flautas are like rolled taquitos, rolled tacos. Like they're like rolled, the tortillas rolled, and they're like long. And so these are flautas. Flautas are really good. This is a picture of what flautas look like. Yum. Sopa de fideo, heart of palm ceviche, caldo de pollo, no, pozole, pirata. Okay, so these, no, tostadas de atún, no. I would like to find a mole recipe. I might make mole because mole reminds me of my grandmother. Mole was kind of like our go-to recipe. It is our go-to recipe in our family for celebration. So my grandmother would always make mole for Mother's Day. My mom makes mole for Mother's Day. Every Mother's Day, I feel like I have to have mole. When I think of my grandmother, when I think of my mom, My mom is still living, but I might invite her over for Dia de los Muertos feast. And it'd be great to have our loved ones' favorite foods. And I think mole might be a good one. So I'll keep perusing. If I find a good mole recipe, I'm definitely going to try to do that. I don't want to make this video too long, but this is my this is I must do this. These are tostadas siberias, and they're the thing in Monterrey, which is where I'm from in Mexico. And my family that have passed, my grandfather, my father, my uncles that have passed, they love tostadas siberias. So this one I can make, and I can make vegan with, it says here the vegan shredded meat, but I think a combination of oyster mushrooms and jackfruit might be a winner. Jackfruit definitely works really well for like shredded chicken recipes, shredded chicken. And I like oyster mushrooms also for like faux shredded chicken. Yeah, tostadas are definitely on the list. Okay, I'm gonna kind of skip ahead a little bit because I want to get through some other cookbooks here. They have some really amazing like snacks. Fresas con crema, strawberries with cream. I like that. Maybe. That tends to remind me more of summer. Enchiladas. They have all sorts of different enchilada recipes. Okay, these are more meaty recipes. They have cauliflower tacos. They have quesadillas. Quesadillas, I mean, yeah, quesadillas. You can't go wrong with quesadillas. So maybe. Oh my gosh, my mouth is watering and I'm getting hungry. They have rice and charro beans. Gosh, I'm like literally salivating over here. Oh my goodness. This is something I have to do. This would be perfect. This is kind of like a variation of the mole. So this is carrots in mole sauce. Grilled carrots with mole and crema. Yes, this is it. So my grandmother used to love mole, and we would make mole. She would make it mole with the chicken, but I'm a vegan, so I don't eat chicken. When I make mole, I usually make enmoladas, which is enchiladas, covered in like a mole sauce. I made that recently, and we love it around here. My husband loves enmoladas, but he says he doesn't like mole, but he loves the enmoladas. I don't know. But this is a different kind of recipe. I think my mom would love to try a different variation of our mole. So grilled carrots, very healthy. It calls for, okay, so like this is what it says here about mole. If there's anything better than carrots grilled over a mesquite fire until charred and caramelized, it's those same grilled carrots served with a deliciously rich mole sauce. We believe mole over anything is a recipe for success. Yes. Yes. If it's not grilling season where you live, you can achieve a similar charred result by cooking the carrots in a cast iron skillet. It's always grilling season around here. Note, mole almendrado is great with enchiladas. Substitute the tomatillo salsa verde in enchiladas verdes with the mole almendrado sprinkle. Yes, that's what I had the other day. Not this mole recipe, but a different one. And then the ingredients for this grilled carrots with mole and crema is 1 tablespoon avocado oil, 2 teaspoons fresh lemon juice, half a teaspoon sea salt, 2 pounds of carrots, 1 teaspoon parsley, 1 to 1.5 cups mole almendrado, which the recipe's in here, how to make that. A half a cup of cashew crema and 2 tablespoons toasted sesame seeds. I think this is a great recipe. My mom is going to love this. I am sure. Okay, so far I like halfway through, and I already found some good recipes for Dia de los Muertos, and they are the conchas, which I'm super duper excited about. Um, oh, if I make the conchas, I'm going to make café de olla. Café de olla is my favorite coffee. I make it decaf because we drink decaf around here. Well, my mom and I drink decaf. Um, and it has anise, piloncillo, and brown sugar and cinnamon. So delicious. If I make it and I can post about it, definitely will. Um, yeah. Last time I make cafe de olla whenever my family comes over, and the last time I made it, they all loved it, and yeah, it was a hit. The crispy papas, potatoes remind me of like they're just a staple of breakfast. My dad used to love potatoes. He used to love potatoes. This might be a good recipe to try for breakfast to remind me of my dad. Tostadas Iberias. My family from Monterrey loves tostadas Iberias, so I'm gonna try that just to like feel them near. And these carrots in mole sauce. I'm really excited. I'm gonna move on to another cookbook because I'm almost at the 30-minute mark. And okay, so the other cookbook that I hauled recently is You Can Cook This. And this is the 30 most commonly wasted foods into 135 delicious plant-based meals. Max La Manna. This isn't necessarily like Mexican or Hispanic or Latinx recipes, but I wanted to just share it. I hauled it and I am excited to peruse it. I'm probably going to skip over this one because it doesn't really go with my plans for Dia de los Muertos, but I might, maybe if you're interested in going through this cookbook with me, let me know. Maybe I'll do another cookbook with this one. But I want to get going with the Dia de los Muertos. Okay, so I have Provecho, and this is by Edgar Castrejon, 100 vegan Mexican recipes to celebrate culture and community. So let's see what they have real quick. I feel like I talked so much already. So let's look at. They talk about plantains. Oh my goodness. Pozole. Okay, this is going to be a recipe that I try soon. It's always a recipe that we make around the holidays, and it would be great for the other Muertos, but it would also be great anytime. I tried this one with my mom last year, and I wrote a note here about just my mom's edits to the recipe. I love it when I cook with my mom and she tells me like this is how I make the pozole. So like every Mexican family is different. Every Latinx family, Hispanic family is different. So sometimes recipes aren't necessarily reflective of the region where you're from or what your family traditions are. And so it's really cool to be able to add notes to these recipes and say like, okay, well, my family makes this a little different and this is their variation of it. So that's cool. Lentil soup, sopa de lentejas. They have fideo again, like the other one did. They have beans, all kinds of beans and rice, enchiladas, empanadas, quesadillas as well. They have a lot of different variations of quesadillas. I already have a potato. They have a papas there, but I already have one. They have corn, cauliflower. Let me see. I'm gonna get anything from here. It might be in the drinks. Chilaquiles, menudo, menudo. My grandfather liked menudo. I might try this one. My maternal grandfather loved a menudo, so that might be one that I would need to do to celebrate him, and it might be a good one. So menudo is like a tripe soup. But of course, this is vegan, so instead of the tripe, it would be mushrooms. So it's chilies, garlic cloves, avocado oil, mushrooms. It calls for Nebrodini Bianco mushrooms. That's gonna be really hard to get. I'm gonna go for like oyster or shiitake, a white onion, vegetable broth, also cauliflower mushrooms. I've never heard of those, but maybe some of those like little button ones would be good. Sea salt, black pepper, cilantro, oregano, lime, and quesadillas or tortillas. Tortillas. Yep. Oh my gosh, this one. I'm probably gonna make it because it reminds me of my grandparents as well. It's camote y leche, which is yam and milk. And this one it calls for 5 yams, piloncillo, which is like the molasses, the cane, the molasses, but like not the liquid, but this not the stick, but it's kind of like block. It's a block of really hardened like sugar, and you like grate it, and it creates a powder. So it's that ginger, vanilla, sea salt, water, and macadamia milk. That's good. I think this is going to be a good one. I've never been a fan of camote con leche, but it's not about me. It's about my ancestors. So my grandparents really liked this in the morning as like kind of like a breakfast. Here, the author wrote, "My family can definitely be relied on for a hereditary sweet tooth. Aren't we all having hereditary sweet teeth around here? Even when it comes to breakfast, caramelized sweet potatoes and milk is a favorite in the morning." That's when my grandparents would eat it. "And the key to making this dish is piloncillo, an unrefined sugar that has a deep toffee-like flavors, but you can also use coconut sugar. Cooking sweet potatoes with piloncillo creates a caramel in the pot. This dish is best eaten freshly made and cooled down a bit so you don't burn your tongue on the caramel. Pour milk over the sweet potatoes and you're in heaven. You could even eat this for dessert." This was a breakfast in my family. My grandparents would have this for breakfast. I haven't been a fan, but again, it's not about me. It's about them. So I'm going to make it. I think I'm going to stop here. So I didn't get through. I got through like maybe halfway again. Sorry. The videos, it doesn't let me record past 30 minutes. So this is Provecho. So from here, I got 2 recipes. I'm going to make the menudo for my maternal grandfather, who really loved a good menudo, and the camote y leche because he and my grandmother, my maternal grandparents, would eat that in the mornings. And it was just such a comforting food for them. So I'm going to try it. And I'm going to see. Hopefully, as an adult, maybe I'll like it. I haven't had it since I was a kid, but I'm glad to have found a recipe for it in this cookbook. So I have 2 more cookbooks that I didn't get to. I have enough recipes, I think, to cover a few meals. So I don't know. Maybe I'll end it here. Tell me what you think. If you liked watching me peruse cookbooks looking for family recipes that might make my ancestors happy, let me know. Yeah, and I will let you know what I cook and how these recipes turn out. And I'm really excited. I'm really happy. It makes me really happy to think about my loved ones and to celebrate their lives and to feel them near. So thank you for watching this video. I know I'm not talking about books. I'm talking about cookbooks, but I'm not talking about literature. I hope that this was fun to watch. And if you have any comments, if you celebrate Dia de los Muertos, if there's any meals that remind you that you cook for your loved ones in memory of, let me know. Let me know what those are. I'd be curious. Thanks for watching. Hasta la próxima.